Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Chalachayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Chalachayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Chalachayanawa, Yahweh, Achad. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. Our praise is to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yehoshai, Ba'ashem Harakak Wadash. Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shouts out to the sincere elect out there. Back at you with another lesson. Out here in the Hilangoli. This is a perfect day for it. Perfect day for a Hilangoli, man. And, you know, Lord willing, killing multiple birds with one stone. Stretching my legs. Yeah, man. So, I want to put this vibration out there, you know, thinking of a word that was said by a particular person, Dwayne the lecturer or Dwayne the teacher, whatever however you say his name, you know, with that statement he made, grumpy old men, or grumpy grouchy old men. And I remember back in the day, if anybody used to watch Sesame Street, there was that guy, Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch was a Jake, bro. Oscar the Grouch. He had it going on, man. Everybody liked Oscar the Grouch. Yeah, I mean, he had a little squat in the dustbin, like a typical homeless Jake. And he had the banter. He was vexed. You know what I mean? He was always complaining. You know, thinking about Lot now, and that's another prophet that among the grouches or the grumpy old men, Lot, because Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Every day he had to hear that crap, right? With Sodom and Gomorrah, in that time of Sodom and Gomorrah, we know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah: sulfur and brimstone, right? Along with the neighbouring cities, Eboim, Zoar, Admah, and Zeboim all got burnt up, fire and brimstone. So, you know, he was vexed. He wasn't getting along to go along. Righteous man Lot. And we don't go along to get along. So they want to put us and try and pigeonhole us as grumpy old men. I don't mind. Been grumpy with all of us. From the time we came out, there was a chemical reaction from the time we came out of the womb. A lot of the prophets have got similar stories in some way, shape or form. We had there was a chemical reaction to the earth because we were going to shake up the earth. Now I just got another video, an idea for another video. Prophets shook up the earth, as Muhammad Ali said. Muhammad Ali said that when he knocked out Sonny Liston. He said, I shook up the world, I shook up the world. So prophets, from the time we came out of the womb, and we're going to get into some scriptures, Lord willing too. From the time the prophets came out of the womb, we shook up the world, right? Because we brought that truth. And the truth has a power to do just that. Shake shit up. Shake it up. Stir it up. Right? The controversy, stir it up and bring that reality, as I was talking about, touched on it yesterday. Put people in a reality check and wake them up out of that mirth. So, Oscar the Grouch, you can call me Oscar the Grouch, I don't mind. Grouchy. Because soon we're going to get our mirth, right? Soon to Revelation 11, right? From the time we came, I'll say from the time Rabbi Abba Bibbins came, when he woke, when the Spirit is poured upon him, High Priest Rabbi Abba Bibbins, the Spirit was poured down upon him around 1919 to 1969, 1969 to 1970, there was a shake-up in the earth. I'm gonna catch right here, so. And Lord willing, look at these. You might be able to see them. Kind of past the season, but we're still in that season the blackberries. Still in the season of the blackberries. So I'm going to get into some of that. Picking some out, doing some foraging. Your blackberries are still around, still in the season. The blackberries, the red ones. So from the time we came, the prophets, Rabbi Abba Bivens, 19 to 1969, 1970, right? We've been shaking up, stirring up, bringing that truth, along with our elders, High Priest Arya, Yai King Marsha, shaking up the earth, right? Pursuing to Ezekiel 37, that breath of life that was poured down upon us. And it's the truth that be doing that. And I know that they wasn't liked either, right? A lot of the prophets were never liked. So they had all kinds of names and they wanted to pigeonhole them, name them names. But I say, all right, I'm going to hit a precept. It's going to be a quick one. Done make the point already, right? We are the Grouches, Oscar the Grouch. You want to call us Oscar the Grouch or and he was a Jake. Everybody got around him, loved him, right? He stirred things up. He was very popular, just like Jake today. Everybody wants to be a so-called black man until the police come, right? Because we set those trends. We make the ghetto trendy. We make the ghetto fashionable. We make being grumpy fashionable. Yeah, that's true. Everybody wants to be a nigger, a so-called Jake, a so-called black man until the police come. Why are we grouchy? We have good reason. I went into that yesterday as well. We the godly sorrow, right? We under the godly sorrow, the righteous sorrow. Let's go over here. Yesterday I draw the crowd, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about drawing a crowd. It was the dogs. Anytime I need a white woman with 2 dogs, you saw it, the little husky dogs, 2 dogs, one of them had about 6 dogs. Dogs, no, the dog's gonna, that's why I move around here. Not that I don't mind talking to the dogs, but you know, they got their owners, man. You know, we are the rightful owners. We are the rightful owners of the dogs. I'll catch you right here, so drawing my energy from the trees. As for those that know, I'm drawing recharging my battery, drawing strength from the tree, the energy and the vibration from the tree, and being around these trees, right, is a blessing. So Romans 3:12 says, they are all gone out of the way, right? Talking about Yahshua Allah, Israel, right? So-called black people. Because not all Israel are of Israel, right? Pursuant to Romans chapters 9 and 6 on down. Not all Israel are of Israel, man. Right? You got the wicked of ours among us. Among my people are wicked men, right? Scorpions and vipers, right? So that's who we curse at. That's why that dude, Dwayne, the teacher, Dwayne the lecturer, whatever his name is, Dwayne the faker, that should be his name, come out with that word, grumpy old men. We're the grumpy old men coming back, right? We believe we are those prophets coming back, the hopeful elect. So let's read some of this. They are all gone, right? Talking about all of our wicked, the wicked of our own people. There's a lot of new ones out now as well. Brothers be going into them. We've got this Genesis, we've got the other ones, all these other ones. There's a whole lot of different ones, which is could be future video. We're gonna curse them out, right? Because the Most High, He brings them up, right? The wicked, the deceiver, and the deceiver are His. So they pick up their head, they raise their heads up, only to be knocked right back down again like Skittles. They are all gone out of the way. They are together become unprofitable. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Their throat is an open sculpture. With their tongue they have used deceits. The poison of the apes is under their lips, right? Lying, scoffing, right? scourging, right? Just like what scorpions do. They bite, right? Let me carry on reading. Whose mouth is full of cursing and bitterness, right? Their feet are swift to shed blood. Yeah, man. You think about all these ninjas out there, the YNs. Their feet are swift to shed blood. The YNs, swift, right? You think about Milwaukee. Saw a documentary on Milwaukee, what the ninjas are doing to each other. And it's mainly the ninjas be doing it, right? Swift to delete each other. Right, Chicago, all those infamous states in America. Over here too, right? You don't hear it as much, but it goes on, right? Jakes be deleting each other. What do they call it? Gun crime, knife crime, and all of that. So their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their ways. The way of the peace have they not known, right? They're not peaceful, man. That's why we separate ourselves from them. Right? We're not of them, they're not of us, we are not of them. Right? The two spirits don't gel, they clash. Right? So they are all wicked. They're gone astray, right? They're all wicked. Israel, all Israel is not of Israel. So they're the wicked of our own people, the 2/3, and we know the 2/3 have to be cut off. So this is really the point. Right, while I'm doing my hilangoli, hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Right, Ezekiel 2:6 says, and thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Their briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions. Be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks. They are a rebellious house, right? Vipers and scorpions, right? Liars. Right? And we're not afraid of them. The Most High said He's going to make our head as sharp as flint, right? Tougher than their heads, right? Ezekiel 3. That's in Ezekiel 3. Shall I read that one? Is it? Or it might be. Yeah, I think it's Ezekiel chapters 3 and 9. Let's see if I find it. Why are we not afraid of these demons? Ezekiel chapter 3. Get the dust off that. And let the breeze blow while the Spirit is flowing. Let the breeze blow. Ezekiel. While I'm here charging up my batteries. Yeah, they say it's going to be a scorcher today. A scorcher. What does they say? 30 Celsius. There's a lot of people talking about it's too hot, heat waves and stuff like that. Heat waves in the city. On the news last night, talking about how the buses need to be more ventilated, more ventilation needs to be going through the buses. People are complaining about too much hot on the buses, hot everywhere, right? So we've got to be through thick and thin, through all seasons. We're here, bringing that truth, right? Ezekiel chapters 3. And 7 says, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impotent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face, right? They impotent, hard-headed and hard-hearted, right? Rebellious people. So he says, Most High says, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and their foreheads strong, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Most High made the prophets hard, and that's why they be coming up with all these slanderous, scoffing, hateful words, right? Grumpy old men and right, call us grumpy old men. That's all right. Anyway, we're gonna hit the precept because Most High says the deceiver and the deceived are His. He lets them come up, right, so that we can address it, right? And the elect of our people gonna see and make a distinction between the one serving God, Malachi 3:18. The elect are gonna see and make a distinction between one that serveth God and one that serveth Him not. And they're going to come through, they're going to follow through. So let's get back to Ezekiel 2. Right? Oh, we done read that. So, and thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Ezekiel 2 and 6. Though brays and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. They are a rebellious house. Right? That's why the Most High said He's gonna make us our head harder than their heads, like flint. Right? That's why we give our praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai, Ba'Shem Charakah Kodash. Double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, if I didn't say it at the beginning. And our shouts to the sincere elect out there. Right? Continuing on. Psalms 97 and 10. I'm going to read it from the NLT. It says, you who love the Lord hate evil. He protects the lives of his godly people and rescues them from the power of the wicked. Right? That's another thing that you're going to see the difference between a man serving God and a man who serveth him not. The elect love righteousness and they hate wickedness. That's why they're always rebuking wickedness and putting up curses on Babylon, right? That's the eventuality of Babylon the Great. It's going to be left as a memorial and a sign of what happened to a wicked place that is extremely wicked. Nothing but fire and brimstone, smoldering tumbleweed. That's going to be left as an example, right? I mentioned what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to be very, very, very similar. But this time it's going to be missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, right? In the midst of the WW3 and Yahushua are going to return. But first we know that we're going to see the MOTB made mandatory. The stage is set with the wearables and what they call that, the brick card, right? The things that you have to get, they're going to download it on your app where you need that ID, right? You want to get onto the World Wide Web, you're going to need that particular IDs, right? They're setting the stage now where you need particular IDs like wearables, brick cards, citizen cards, and all forms of ID via digital, right? And everything's going to be digital. So that's the stage being set for the MOTB. Revelation 13 and 16. The stage is being set for that. So we have to warn you, give you the heads up, and that's what we're doing. Right? Prophets always gave the heads up. Right? Got a lot more I can do and bring out, a lot more precepts I can bring out. I'm going to make this one a quick one. Right? The point is done, made. But Amos chapters 5, once again, 15 says, hate the evil, love the good. Establish judgments in the gate. We're establishing that judgment, right? The wicked are doing what they're doing, right? Setting the stage for the MOTB to tag and bag all you wicked, right? The elect ain't going to take it, right? You're going to resist the temptation. Revelation chapters 3 and 10, right? The hour of temptation, we're going to stand firm, right? That's why we're making taking our stand now from now on. Taking our stand. From the time we came in the truth, we've been taking our stand with righteousness, loving the good and hating the wicked. Right? So when that actual MOTB is made mandatory, we've already made our case. The Most High has made our case for us. We've taken our stand on what side we stand on. Right? So we're taking that stand. Hate the evil, love the good, establish judgment in the gate. Right, establish judgment in the gate. Make your judgments and your stance plain, and call out all the wicked of our own people and the other nations as well, the Goyim nations and the E nations. Right, establish judgment in the gate. May be that the Lord God of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. Right, yeah. So that's representing all of the tribes. Actually, could represent all of the tribes, right? The children of Jacob, right? Northern tribe and the southern tribe. So, Lord willing, we do remain faithful and endure to the end, and we get mercy. He will have mercy on the remnants of Joseph. Lord willing. Kala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yoshai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kodash. So, point is being made, and this place I made a quote of yesterday, and I'm gonna bring it out, the quote that I made. So this is First Ezra's and chapters 4. Let's hit the get a bit of the context. Going up to turn over the page to First Ezra's and chapter 3. From the top says, now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects and unto all his household and unto all the princes of Media and Persia. Right, see, right? There's a feast taking place. And unto all the governors and the captains and the lieutenants that were under him from Lydia unto Ethiopia of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken and been satisfied, were gone home, then Darius the king went unto his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awoke. Right, the King Darius, right, and he's going to give, you might call a challenge or a statement, right? The statement is, then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spoke one to another. Let every one of us speak a sentence. Right, then let every one of us, right, this is the 3 young men, right, in the midst of the feast, right, speak a sentence. He that all shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the other, right, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory. You get the idea, right? It's like a challenge between these three wise men. And be clothed in purple, drink in gold, drink in gold, and a sleep upon gold, and a chariot with girdles of gold, and a hard tire of fine linen, and chain about his neck. And he shall sit next to Darius, right, there you go, because of his wisdom, and shall called Darius his cousin, right, and shall be called Darius his cousin. This goes into some of those old words, words, and it's a new phone, so the new download I've downloaded from the KJV Bible is giving me a lot of those, the Apocryphal Bible is giving me a lot of those old words, so I'm getting used to it all over again. So what was the challenge? He says the challenge was, and then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius his pillow, and said, right, you see the spelling's all different, right, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge, that his sentence is the wisest, to him shall the victory be given as was appointed. So what is it? 3 challenges, right? The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. The third wrote, women strongest. Women are the strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory, right? And that's what we know. We do know that, right? The elect that's in this truth, right? Yes, wine, one is saying woman or wine, right? And wine, it has an influence, it has a pull. And the second is saying the king, and the king has authority and power, right? Over in the next verse, it goes into all the things that the power and authority that the king has. And the third wrote, woman is strongest. And for all of our, that have women now, and had experience in had a lot of women. I mentioned King David yesterday and Solomon yesterday. He can he's speaking from experience. He would know from experience. 80 concubines, around about 80 concubines when you do the fact checking, around about 83, and about King Solomon, and about 300 wives, right? His wives. So he would know, King Solomon, right, that they do have authority, they do have influence over particularly weak men. Right? The third wrote, women are strongest, but above all things, truth beareth the way the victory. So the truth is the fact of the matter Big Vada. The fact of the matter is, truth is the strongest. Because when you turn over the page, right, it goes into all the different influences that the wine can have, right? I spoke about some of them yesterday. Wine is powerful. It is a mocker. Many people get into holy brawls because of the excessive of wine. Get into brawls, wake up in hospital, wake up sick, and then when the buzz wears off, they go straight back to it again. So wine is a mocker. Wine is strong, right? A lot of people have had lost their lives, right, and lost their houses and lost their cars because of alcoholism, right? So the other one is, let's read it, right? Then the second that had spoken of the strength of the king began to say, O ye men, do not men excel in strength and bear rule over sea and land and all the things in them, right? When you hear it, the difference now about, and he commanded to smite, they smite. If he command to make, 2nd Ezra chapters 4 and 8, if he command to smite, they smite. If he command to make desolate, they make desolate. If he command to build, they build, right? The king, the second is talking about the king, the influence that the king has, right? Because he has men under him, right? He has influence. So here's the third. The third is Zerubbabel speaking. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak, right? And here's all the different things that women have, the influence they have over men, right? They leave their fathers, a man leave his mother and his father. Let's hit the main point, right? Here it is. Yeah, in 26 of 2nd Ezra 4. Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sake. Right, we've seen that. We've seen that. We've seen people go out of their wits. Could have been some people in our families. Could have been even some brothers who have left the truth. Gone out of their wits. Left the truth. Right? As we know, the truth is, it beareth all things. It believes all things. It hopes all things. It is the truth. It is the main thing. But many men have left the truth. In other words, gone out, as it's saying here, gone out of their wits for women's sakes. Many have also perished, have erred and sinned for women. Right? So there you have it. You got the idea right there. Right? So we do appear as being grumpy old men because we bring out the straight skinny, the truth. Right? And here's the ending. Here's the conclusion of the matter. When you read it, it says, is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth. Right, man. Right? This is what the king is saying now. Right? After gathering those three men who brought their challenges or their written statements, this is what the conclusion of the matter, yeah, of the king. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth and stronger than all things. All the earth calleth upon the truth, and their heaven blesseth it. Right, we bear witness of that. Right, the trees that be singing to the Most High. The trees, he talks about that in Isaiah chapters 14 and 8. Right, they're going to be singing when that fellow is done away with, which are the E's. When that fellow is done away with the trees, because the E's are the ones that be cutting down the trees. Right, fellow, right, a man with a saw, right, whether it be a saw, chopper, right, they're cutting down. The last I checked was about every year about 2 football pitches of the rainforest is cut down every year. Maybe that was a little while back. Maybe it's even increased now. Cutting down the rainforest day in and day out. So the trees gonna be rejoicing, right? And they all cry to the Most High, right? They be mourning too. Romans chapters 8, right? Groaning, right? The trees, the animals, they're all groaning, right? That's why everywhere we go, we're like a moth to a flame. The bees be coming to us, the wasps be coming to us, the dogs of the owners are coming to us, trying to pull away from their owners. You saw some of that, what happened yesterday while I was doing the video. Those little two husky dogs and a lot of other dogs. Right, I asked the woman what dogs they were. That she told me, because they wanted to come around me. They wanted to leave her, get away from her. So the animals, the trees all bear witness that the truth, right? They're crying out to the Most High, right? Which is them crying out for deliverance, and that's the truth. They're crying for the deliverance. Yahweh return. Yahweh return. All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth it all works. Blesseth all the works, right? We can go into all of that, right? And the Most High, he says that John chapters 14. I go on my way to prepare a page for us. So we're going to see all the different stars, right, universes and galaxies. They be giving glory to the Most High. Oh, the angels, don't forget the angels in Revelation chapters 4, right? All they do is give glory to the Most High day in and day out. Praise the Most High creation, right? And he represents that truth, right? They call upon him, right? Upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth it all. All work shout and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteousness, right, in these things. Because woman, the king, and the wine, excessive wine is unrighteousness. Is in righteousness, in the unrighteousness of all these things. There's unrighteousness in all of them. I can't stress that enough, right? The authority of the king, the wine is a mocker, and woman, right? And a lot of men have run out of their wits for women. They're all wicked. And I know King Solomon, like I say, King Solomon is a perfect example. When he spoke in Ecclesiastes and in Wisdom of Solomon, and also when King Solomon spoke in Chronicles and also in the Kings, right, he was speaking from the heart, and he asked for wisdom, because he recognized that all these other things are temporary, but wisdom, right, you can gain riches. And he got the necks of his enemies. He got riches through wisdom, right, and he got a long life. And he got the blessing. The most important thing, he got the blessing of the Most High for asking for the right attitude, for asking for wisdom. So the power of the truth. This is the last. Here's the point, right? So what? The conclusion of the matter is: wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works, and there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. Right? Let the scripture speak. Right? They're all temporary. Here today, gone tomorrow. But the truth endureth forever. The word of Yahweh Shai, call of Yahweh Shai. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Once again, that's why we say Shema Yasha'Allah. Yahweh Halachayanawa. Yahweh Hakad. Hear our Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. It's all about the truth. And that's what you're going to endure forever. So they want to call us all them names, all the scoffers. It's all right. We don't mind. Because despite what you don't like to hear, we're going to tell you. Truth endure forever. Till the next one. We out.